Hey guys, it's Andrea here. Welcome and welcome back to my channel, aka my internet home.
Alright, they asking for the queen. I'm a bad bitch, she's a savage. Look back while I twerk. No comparison.
So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my travel guide for Turks and Caicos. But before we get into that video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification button so you are notified every single time I post, because I am on my way to 3K and I want you guys with me every step of the way. Now that that's all done, let's get right into the video. So as you may or may not know, I recently took a trip to Turks and Caicos. So by the time this video is up, God willing, the vlog will be up as well. So if you didn't watch that video, it's going to be up in the cards. It's going to be up in the cards and down in the description box below. So make sure you check that out after you watch this video, or you know, however you want to do it. Just make sure you watch both the videos, okay? Thank you. So Turks and Caicos, let's get right into it. If you guys see me like looking down or whatever, notebook here. So Turks and Caicos is an archipelago of 40 low-lying coral islands in the Atlantic Ocean, a British overseas territory southeast of the Bahamas. So Turks and Caicos, man. Turks and Caicos. Well, the first thing you need to do before you go to Turks and Caicos is fill out like the travel application. Like I did one for St. Martin. You also have to do one for Turks and Caicos, where you just basically fill out your information, you know, how old you are, your birthday, all that good stuff. And then you also have to provide a negative PCR test. So for Turks and Caicos, they allow you to take the test 5 days before boarding the plane, like 5 days before you land in Turks and Caicos. So on their travel website, they do have like suggested days. Like if you travel on a Wednesday, well, we traveled on a Wednesday, so we had to take our COVID test on a Friday or on a Saturday. I'm not 100% sure. Can the hood please be quiet? Well, you do have to receive your negative PCR COVID test or they will not let you on the plane, okay? You also have to buy travel insurance. Once again, I got mine from like TravelX, I think, and it was $35. So, you know, there's that as well. You do have to upload it to the site and then wait for approval. And then when you get approved, you get like a PDF file or whatever, like you get an approval seal that you might also have to print out, just because they do ask you that at immigration when you enter Turks and Caicos. We flew JetBlue and it was about 3.5 to 4 hours from Queens, New York to Turks and Caicos, Providenciales, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, to Providenciales, also known as Prov, I think, when I was reading it up, I think that's what they call it. Turks and Caicos. So it was about 3.5 to 4 hours to get there. And now JetBlue is doing this thing where they are not offering free carry-on bags. You are allowed one personal item, but like, you know, before you just had a carry-on and you didn't have to pay for anything. JetBlue's not doing that anymore. So when we got there, immigration went by relatively fast. It wasn't as long as like immigration for St. Martin. That was extremely long. This one probably took about 30 to 35 minutes to get through immigration, where you have to show your COVID test, your pre-approval form, your passport, and they give you paperwork to fill out on the plane. They give you like 3 sheets of paper to fill out for immigration. So one's like an immigration form, where you're staying, if you're bringing anything, if you're, you know, there to sell stuff, whatever. Then one form is for like your family, and then I can't recall what the third form was for, but I do know I had to fill out 3 forms and then give that to immigration when I got to Turks and Caicos. After immigration, we took a taxi to our hotel, and the taxis at the hotel work a little bit differently. Maybe it's because we were at the airport heading to a hotel, I'm not really sure. But it was like, if you came in through the airport and you don't have a car already, you don't have a registered taxi, or you don't have a rented vehicle, you have to kind of wait for a taxi that is going to your hotel. Me and the girls, we had shared a taxi with like some other people. I guess it was based off of the taxi driver's route. Did they go to our hotel? I'm not really sure if they went to our hotel, but we had to wait for like other people to get onto our taxi, and like other people did get onto our taxi, and then they dropped us off first, and then I'm not really sure if the other people who were in the taxis got out the taxi with us because we were all going to the same hotel, or if their hotel was like near our hotel. I can't really remember, but you know, when you get there, they ask you, do you need a taxi? Then they ask you where you're going, and then from there they assign you a taxi. We stayed at Ports of Call in the Grace Bay area. It was a really nice hotel. The only downfall is that they did not have an elevator, but granted, it was only 3 flights. But you know, when you're traveling with a suitcase, you kind of don't want to carry your suitcase. Like, I don't want to lug my suitcase up 3 flights of stairs. Coming down was perfectly fine, but going up, I dreaded it. Granted, there was a nice young man who helped me with my suitcase. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have to lug up my suitcase. He did. But you know, if that nice young man wasn't there, I would have had to lug my own suitcase up those 3 flights of stairs, and I was just not feeling that. The hotel was very nice. It had a pool, it had a gym. They served breakfast daily from like, I think 6 o'clock to 10:30, maybe 11. I feel like it was like 6 o'clock to 10:30. They served free breakfast, so you can go down to the hotel. You don't have to pay for breakfast. You could just go eat that. Granted, I didn't really like the breakfast. I had the breakfast once. They made waffles. Yeah, they made waffles, and they had like sausages and ham. They had hard-boiled eggs. They did have cereal, but you know, the breakfast, just the only thing that was like fresh were the waffles, because they had somebody there constantly making the waffles for people who wanted waffles. Granted, my waffles were kind of undercooked because she was rushing, so I didn't really like my waffles at all, but they had that. You also get a complimentary drink from the bar. It can either be like a rum punch or a non-alcoholic drink, and they give you like this little voucher card, and all you have to do is just go to the bar and, you know, hand him your little voucher card and get your drink. I went to Grace Bay Beach, I know that, and Turks and Caicos is very much a tourist town. I will say it is very tourist driven. There are people on the beach hustling, okay? Not like hustling trying to scam you, but like hustling trying to get you to, you know, do something with them. When we were on the beach, we were approached about like parasailing and kayaking and snorkeling and, you know, jet skis and all that stuff. You know, there was always somebody on the beach that had something that they were like a service that they were providing. There was always somebody who had a service provided. So if you don't really have an itinerary out there, or you just want to like play by ear and you're not really sure what you want to do, you can definitely just go down to the beach and somebody will find you and, you know, spit their game for you, okay? They will let you know what they are doing. Also, I wanted to let you know that Turks and Caicos does accept US dollars, because I know I brought cash and I also used my card or whatever, but like, you know, they accept US dollars. I don't know if they have, I'm not really sure if they have their own currency, or if they accept like the British pound or euro or whatever, but they definitely do take dollars. But I feel like it's because where we were at, like in Grace Bay, I feel like where we were at in Grace Bay is very much a tourist town. That's why they accepted dollars. So next thing I want to talk about is nightlife, right? So although Turks and Caicos is under curfew, I believe that their curfew is later. It is at 1 a.m. So you can definitely go out. I believe everything is supposed to shut down at 12, but you can definitely find a couple places that are still open, after 1. Or like really close to 1. I can't remember. So I definitely do know that they are under curfew and it is being enforced. And I will get to that later. So then like nightlife. So when we were there, we only got to go to about maybe like, let me just tell you what happened, okay? I can't even front on this one. So, well, the first night we went there, we ended up going to this hookah lounge / bar called Shisha. And everything looked very promising from the outside. They played music. They charged about $20 to get in. Yeah, they charged $20 just to get in the first place. And everything looked really promising. The music was nice. They had a live DJ. It was popping. It looked popping. There was a lot of people there. It was crowded. But the service at Shisha was trash. Service at Shisha was absolute trash, and let me tell you why I feel like that. So at first they sat us inside, and we were the only guests sitting inside, and we were just like, yeah, no, we don't want to sit inside. Can we sit outside? And they were like, okay, like the spaces that are open, it was like 2 levels. So the upper level was open, and if there were seats, you were allowed to sit there, and then the bottom level was VIP. So there was no open seats on the upper level, and they were like, the only way you could do VIP is if you get like a bottle package and a hookah. So we were like, okay, cool, how much? Like, we were willing to spend the money to go sit in VIP or whatever. Some girl was gonna come to us and you know, talk about pricing or whatever. Long story short, she never came. We had to like flag down somebody else to talk to about whatever. There was an open availability on the upper level, so we ended up sitting at the upper level. But while we were there, a man there made a comment to us, and his words, I might be paraphrasing, but it was like, let the people with the money sit down. You know, like y'all don't need the table. Let the people with money sit down, which I found very rude and very offensive because I already paid $20 to come in here. So I obviously have no problem spending my money to enjoy my time here. But what I do have a problem with is spending money in an establishment who treats their guests very rudely. That night there was some VIP in the building. There was a professional football, well, they call it soccer, so it's a professional. There was a professional soccer player, and then like a few Instagram models, baddies or whatever. It seemed like we couldn't get serviced. We couldn't get serviced or served or anything we wanted because they were there, which also is, you know, disheartening. But also, I'm not paying you to be ignored. You know, one of my friends, her drink spilled, and like courtesy, they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, let me get you a fresh one or whatever. None of that. Her drink never got replaced. We were overcharged for things that weren't on the bill. They charged us for water that we never had. They said we were a group of 6 girls when we were a group of 4, which I think played into like gratuity and tax. Honestly, Shisha was just very shady and classist. After that experience, like I would never suggest anybody going to Shisha, even though it was highly suggested by the people of Turks and Caicos. I as an American, I as a tourist, I as somebody who spend my hard-earned money there, I would never tell you to go to Shisha. I would tell you not to. Also went to Shisha a second night because, you know, sometimes people do fuck up. The second night was a lot better. We did end up getting VIP or whatever. But one of the servers there, the woman that served us the day before, she was there and she was just talking smack to our current server about us, which was also rude. So I would not recommend going to Shisha. And if I ever went back to Turks and Caicos, I would never go back to Shisha. The second club that we tried to go to was Versace. Now, everybody in Turks and Caicos, well, all the young people in Turks and Caicos will tell you, I think it's on Thursdays, all roads lead to Versace. We didn't go on Thursday. We went on like Friday or something like that. Versace was also rude. The staff at Versace was also very rude. Ultimately, we didn't even make it inside of the club. They were just being extremely rude outside of the club. Like the staff, their security or whatever. There were like 2 women waiting in front of us, and it was a group of 4, so in total there were 6 women waiting outside. I think like 2-3 men came after us and they went into the club before us, and we were not acknowledged at all. So I will also not spend my money at a place that will not acknowledge me because I am a woman, because what is that even about? So Versace is also on my shit list. Shisha and Versace, dead. I don't know what other clubs, where else you can go for like nightlife in Turks and Caicos. I'm not really sure. Those are the 2 places that we did. And I did not like my experience both nights. I mean, well, my second night at Shisha was much better than my first night until the server from the previous night decided to be rude and bitchy, basically. That's what I'm gonna call it. She was just being bitchy, and it's just not worth the money. So Shisha is classist and Versace seems sexist. So you do with that information what you can do. So that was it for my nightlife experience. I did tell you that Turks and Caicos is under curfew, and I'm not 100% sure if they have a mask mandate. I believe that they do have a mask mandate, because I remember when I was buying souvenirs to bring home, you had to wear a mask to enter into the shop. If you're traveling to Turks and Caicos, I suggest just keeping a mask in your bag, in your back pocket, whatever, because some people will tell you to put a mask on. I also mentioned earlier about the curfew. The curfew is enforced, and I know that because me and my girls went out to have dinner after our failed Versace experience, And the police came to shut down the restaurant we were at. Even though it wasn't 1 o'clock yet, it might have been like 12:15. They were just like, they were gonna get fined because they were still operating. I told you about, you know, the activities that you can do in Turks and Caicos. Parasailing, which I have a video. I'll insert like a little clip of us parasailing. You can also do like the clear kayak pictures that everybody, you know, everybody on Instagram, all the Instagram girls be doing. I'll insert some pictures of that. We didn't do that one specifically because, oh guys, I forgot to tell you. I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm gonna hold off on that. Give me a second. Parasailing, kayaking, you can also do snorkeling. You can get a massage because we got massages. Windsurfing, I don't know what it's called when you ride the wave with the big sail. I don't know what that's called. You can also do like a little tour. You could do a boat party. You can jet ski. I personally will not suggest jet skiing based off of my personal experience with the jet ski. It was kind of like a jet ski nightmare, a jet ski horror story. And I will be making a story time on that because that was a rather terrifying and traumatizing experience for me. So be on the lookout for that. When that video is posted, I will put it up in the cards down in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. A weird thing I would like to add into this video, which I didn't add into my other travel guide video, mainly because I didn't feel like it was necessary, but I feel like I need to talk about this as a woman. The men in Turks and Caicos are shifty. That's the only way I know how to put it. They're shifty and just like a tad bit shady. Like, I'm not gonna say all the men in Turks and Caicos, but most of the majority of the men that I had encountered in Turks and Caicos were kind of shifty. And I feel like as a woman, you know, woman to woman, if you're a woman watching this video, woman to woman, I just feel like I need to let y'all know what happened. It might happen to you as well. Like, I'm not really sure what it was, but the men were kind of shifty. Our first night there, we stopped to take some pictures, and it was in between two buildings. Like, I'm gonna insert a picture of the picture. Between two buildings. While I was taking pictures, the three girls were sitting in front of me, facing me, and I was standing, you know, facing them, so I could see this way and they could see. Oh, while I'm taking pictures, there was this man. I'm not quite sure if he was homeless or not. He turned the corner of the building, and then when he saw us, it was like he was trying to hide, and like he made himself like really small. Like, he was trying to make himself really small up against the building, like so no one could see him, which I thought was also shifty. Because I was just like, if you were just walking, then just walk. He stopped and he was there like watching us for a while. For the majority of time that we were taking pictures. And at first I'm not gonna say it didn't bother me. It bothered me, but not that much because there was a distance between us. But it was just like, you know, my friends, we were talking about it out loud, and it was like, I don't know why you would be hiding. Like, we see you. We all see you. So I guess after he heard that, he decided he was going to, you know, not pretend to be small anymore and walk like directly, not directly in front of me, but like directly in my line of vision, like behind the other girls. But I could see him clearly, and he just stood there watching as I was taking pictures. And, you know, I'm taking pictures, and, you know, my friend is, and I'm just like, at this point, I'm kind of creeped out. So I'm not moving. And my friend's like, next pose, please. And I was just like, I can't, because I feel rather uncomfortable. And she was like, why not? And I was like, because this man is just standing here, like literally just standing behind y'all, watching us. No, and it wasn't like he was close, but he was standing behind us, standing behind them, watching us. And I was just like, I don't like that. And then he proceeded to like walk closer to them well, closest to all of us, but like obviously closest to them. And it was like he wanted to sit right next to my friend who was taking my picture. So we all just like got up and like went to the hotel, and we took pictures at the hotel instead. That was our first shifty man. Our second shifty man, you know what? The men we encountered just lied a lot. They just lied a lot. And yeah, the men, they just lied a lot. So woman to woman, don't get got out there. And you know, be careful, travel in groups. Men there would just like, as we were walking past or whatever, like if we came back from whatever club we came from, or like whatever dinner place we had, like whatever place we had dinner at, they would be driving down the road, this empty road, slow their car down and roll their windows down and look at us from their window, from the car, and not say anything. Which, I don't know about y'all, but to me that sounds like the starting of a drive-by. Like if somebody slowly pull up on you and roll their window down, you about to get shot, like move. So I don't know. They never even said, hello, do y'all need a ride, good night, whatever. They ain't say nothing. They just like stared out the window. So as a woman, I find that creepy. As a woman in a different country, and I don't know what, you know, how they move out there, I find that creepy. I found that extremely creepy, and I'm not sure why that was happening, if that's just like a normal thing that happens, because it didn't happen once. It happened several times for me to actually make note of it to want to put it in this video. As a woman, if you are traveling to Turks and Caicos, I would just say travel in groups. Keep your eyes open. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't get got. Don't let these men lie to you like that. Like, don't believe their lies, because they're gonna lie anyway, but don't believe their lies. Coming back to the US, you do have to take another COVID test. I believe it's 2 days before your flight. A lot of the hotels offer COVID testing. You know, if you stayed, some of them are for free. We took our COVID test at the 7 Stars Resort, I believe. Oh, that's another thing that you can do while you're out in Turks and Caicos. I believe if you stay there with them, you can get the COVID test for free. But if not, you have to pay $50 to take that COVID test. So what I will say, when I took my COVID test, the test itself wasn't that bad, but I did feel like the procedures weren't right. So I was with a group of girls. Obviously, it was a group of 4 of us. All together was 4. And the person administering the test did not ask who was who until after she done swabbed she swabbed everybody's nose, then, you know, sent the test off, well, however you do the test, whatever it is. And then at the end, when the results came back, that's when she asked who was who. So in my head, if one of us did have COVID, you know, God forbid, but if one of us did have COVID, any of us could have had it, because she did not say, oh, Andrea, this is Andrea's test, let me send off Andrea's results. She did everybody's COVID tests and then came back with the result like, so who's Andrea? I am. Now, did Andrea get Andrea's COVID result back? No. I mean, I personally don't know, but it doesn't seem like I would have. Be mindful of that. If you are concerned, if you might have been exposed to COVID, I would say get tested by yourself and not in a group, or go to a different testing facility. So that is it for my travel guide video. If you guys enjoyed this video or found this video helpful, please leave me a big thumbs up and a comment down below. If you didn't get to at the beginning of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification button so you are notified every single time I post. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye.
Alright, they asking for the queen. I'm a bad bitch, she's a savage. Look back while I twerk. No comparison. I'm a